Hello, this is Sarah. I did an interview with my mother, Karen Wickman, about the ISL life. My brother Josh lives in an ISL currently, and I thought it would be helpful to other parents and individuals out there to hear one perspective and one experience. Hopefully, it can give a little bit of insight into what ISL life is like. ISL stands for Independent Supported Living, and in this interview, when I say ISL, I mean an Independent Supported Living home. Hello, my first question is, can you share a little bit about Josh?
Yes, Josh is 35 years old. He was born in 1984. In about 1987, he was diagnosed with autism. And a few years later, he moved to Massachusetts with my mother. She was his guardian. She was able to move to Massachusetts. When Josh was diagnosed, it was 2 to 4 children were diagnosed in about 10,000, and now it's 1 in 54. At that time, when he went to Massachusetts, there were more programs in Massachusetts for autism. Not as much was known as is now. There's a lot more training, but at that time, Massachusetts had more than this area. One of the things they worked on were his verbal skills. He had moderate skills. He didn't have high verbal skills, but he had moderate, and they worked on that, and he's able to communicate. So that was something that was helpful through the years. And then years later, as there was more learned about how, more programs out for people that needed them, she moved back. Because he didn't like change, he did stay with her. She had staff that would help her during the day with him, and he had staff that would be there with him. He's moderate functioning, he's verbal. He definitely has his opinion on things. A few years ago, she became
ill and unable to continue guardianship. What is Josh's house like?
Josh's home is nice. It's a 2 bedroom. It's built in the 70s. It's in a little bit older neighborhood. It is in a good area of town. It's safe, and there's neighbors. It's 2 bathroom, and it's a very, very nice, good sized home.
Is there staff at his home, and how often are they there, and how do they help Josh?
Josh has staff in his home. They're there 24 hours a day. During the day, there's two. One is for his roommate, and one is for Josh. And then in the evenings, there's one. They do any kind of service that Josh needs to have done. If he needs cooking or food, or they make sure that he's safe and he's taking, if he's needing medications, they're there to assist him with what he needs throughout the day and in his routines. And if there are things that he needs to be transported to, or if there's things that they're supposed to work on with him at home, they do those things for Joshua. One thing that was good is his provider. They were willing to work with staff that Josh had for years. So he's been able to keep some of his staff that he had when he first moved back to this area. He's had some staff for years, and that's been a tremendous benefit, and also helps in my feeling of safety. And they were willing to work with, continue to train. They had where he is provided for, they have to have certain training. So they trained staff that he had, and that's been a great benefit as well.
Does he live with a roommate, and how do they get along?
Josh does have a roommate. They get along. They don't socialize a lot, but they have not had any negative interactions. They get along. He does his thing and Joshua does his, and so they get along just fine.
Have you always been able to visit Josh? Has there been any times you've been asked not to visit? Do you have to give notice to stop by?
I've always been able to visit anytime. I'm his guardian, of course, so I've always been able to visit at any time. There may have been times, I call and check ahead of time to make sure that Josh will be there. Sometimes if his roommate has family there, it might be, we try and work around. There has never been an issue arise with where I've been told I shouldn't come or anything like that. I've always been able to take Josh if I wanted to, and have the staff also bring and take Josh if I need him to go somewhere.
What does Josh do for fun, and what does he do out in the community?
Josh enjoys watching movies and specific ones. He enjoys taking drives. His staff takes him for drives, and they take him to events that he would enjoy. They go walking with him. He will go to things like, if there's a festival he would enjoy, or a place like an amusement park, they would take him if he was up to it and felt like it. And he enjoys going to stores where he can get videos that he likes. And he enjoys technology. He likes recorders, like cassette recorders and technology things. And he enjoys music, like keyboards and things of that nature.
Does where Josh live, does it feel like a facility or does it feel like a home? And do you feel like Joshua likes his home?
Josh's home very much feels like a home. It feels like his place, his and his roommates. They each have their own areas, they each have their own bedrooms. Their rooms have their things in it, and the living room and the community area is nice. It's decorated, and pictures and things, and it looks very much like a nice little home. I think Joshua does enjoy his home. He enjoys his room the best. He does like to stay in his room and watch. He's got his chair and got it all set up in there. But he also comes out into the common area when we're there, and throughout the day he eats out there. I think he does enjoy it. I think he feels at home there.
Do you like Joshua's home, and do you feel that he is safe at his home?
I like Joshua's home. I like the area. I really enjoy the area. It's got a lot of really cute, neat things for him to do there. And it's got nature trail close, and it's got places where they have farmers market and everything. So I do like his home, and I like the area that it's in. I do feel that it's safe with his staff. There's not been any kind of safety issue. So far it's been really good. On that note, I do think it's important to research. Some of it is the company that he is with, the ISL that we found. I feel that it's safe. They go to extremes, or they really do their best to make their clients safe. And I do appreciate that. And I think it's important to research that, to look for that, and to see that if that's been the experience of the people in the whoever is providing the service.
What advice would you give to somebody that is interested in living in an ISL?
The advice I would give someone would be, like I said, to research the different providers, the homes that are available, the ISLs that are available. They're different. There are some that are individual, they don't have roommates. There are some that are have groups of people, some that will take, some may not accept certain clients, and some may accept a more difficult client. It's important to research and to look for the different possibilities that are out there and look for one that you feel comfortable with. It takes time for this decision. It's not easy. There are when there's new staff that come in, to get used to staff. And you do have, as a guardian and as a parent, you have concern for the safety of your loved one. And I have had concern for Josh. And it's been something that's been able to be worked out. And I understand the struggle that many parents and guardians have in this decision, but it's been a natural move for Josh as he's become an adult to have his own place, to have some of his own independence. Even though he has staff, it's his place, it's his, where he's comfortable, and he has his things, and he has people there that care about him. Another thing that's been a benefit is that he has other support. He has brothers and sisters and people that can be involved in where he is at and in his home. And so those are things that have been valued and important as well.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it.